Somehow, someway, the San Antonio Spurs, who started out 0-1 with a terrible loss to my Charlotte Hornets, who I do not think are one of the best teams in the NBA by any means, are now 3-1 with wins over a couple of teams that were projected to make the playoffs. Coach Popovic, yet again, has worked a miracle with this Spurs team because they don't have the best collection of talent. Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell are their two best players and the future of the franchise. Tre Jones has come along very nicely, but remember, this was supposed to be a year that they were tanking to get one of these guys, preferably the guy in the middle. So we're going to be talking about the Spurs and how they're doing it, so make sure you stick around till the end of the video. Also, make sure to like button and leave me a comment down below. Yeah, 3-1. Shocking everybody. Coach Popovic, yet again, the mad scientist, has mix and match players, and they are 3-1. That is crazy. Devin Vassell and Keldon Johnson are leading the way for this Spurs squad. Again, the future of the franchise, the wing duo that will probably carry them to the next decade. Tre Jones has also become a very nice franchise PG, averaging about 15 a game. We're going to talk about him in depth later. The three veterans, Doug McDermott, Jakob Poeltl, and Josh Richardson, all doing their part, all playing pretty well for Coach Pop. And again, this is a team that's supposed to be tanking. Even Devin Vassell, they were asking what they were going to do to tank for Wembanyama. He said, nah, we're balling this year. Josh Primo, Jeremy Sohan, and Zach Collins are the three other young guys that have been getting minutes apart from everybody else we just mentioned. So yeah, let's go ahead and take a deep dive into this Spurs squad, starting out with the new duo, Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell. Like I said, these are the two guys that are going to probably take them into the next decade because they're both very young, both very exciting, and have a lot of potential. Let's start out with Keldon Johnson. Last year, 17 points a game, 6 rebounds on 46% shooting from the field and 40% from three, which are good numbers for a young forward. But again, after the deadline, once they moved a couple of their win-now guys, he averaged even more points. This year, he's putting up 21 a game, 6 rebounds, 45% from the field, and 38% from three, and those are good numbers, even though it's a small sample size, only 4 games. Again, this is being recorded currently 12 minutes before tip-off of their game tonight versus the Timberwolves. So far, he's averaging 33 minutes per game, 3.5 assists, and 1.2 steals per night. And yeah, he's a very, very good young piece, somebody they're going to build around for a long time. Now, speaking of Vassell, last year he put up 12.5 points a game on 43% shooting from the field and 36% from three. Not the greatest numbers, but again, he was young. He was getting more and more minutes as the year progressed. And then this year, once they really unleashed him, he's putting up 20 a game, 5 rebounds, 4.5 assists. So they have their young duo that's averaging 20 a game combined, both pictured here, and shot at 41% from the field, 40% from three, with 1.3 steals so far this year. So you would like the field goal percentage to go up. 3-point percentage is right where it's at, but still a long way to go. Got 78 more games to play, but these guys are really going to put some people on. Now the rookies. This is a team that at multiple points in the game against the Hornets, they were playing two 19-year-olds with Primo and Sohan. Wesley and Malachi Branham have not really gotten to play yet, but I don't doubt we will get to see them as the year progresses. Sohan, he's kind of allergic to scoring, but 6 points a game, 5 rebounds, and 1.3 assists per game. But the reason the Spurs liked him so much, basically the reason that everybody liked him so much, was because of his defense, putting up 21 minutes per game, 45% shooting from the field, and 1 steal. But he is really a positionless defender, so really excited to see what Coach Pop can continue to do with him throughout the year. Now, have they found their franchise point guard? We thought it was going to be Primo, but Tre Jones has kind of come in and said, hey, whoa, not so fast, everybody. Last year in 16 minutes per game, he put up 6 a night with 3.4 assists, and we've seen his brother Tyus do this. We know he's a bucket, but Tre now, he's putting up 14.5 a game with 4.5 assists and 1.8 steals, again in limited minutes, and shooting it very efficiently from the field. Well, actually, not really limited minutes. They've kind of opened him up, but you're getting a taste of what Tre Jones can do. Now, trade candidates. Even though the Spurs are 3-1, they are likely to try and tank out for the rest of the year. So that leads me to believe that they might look to be moving some of the veterans on their squad. This is a trade that I saw pop up on my Instagram feed. Doug McDermott, Jakob Poeltl, and Josh Richardson in exchange for Westbrook and the 2027 Lakers unprotected pick and the 2029 Lakers unprotected pick. The amount of value that those two picks will have is going to be crazy. They're both probably going to be top 5 picks because the Lakers, at that point, AD is probably going to be in the hospital permanently. LeBron's going to be in the retirement home. And Westbrook, well, I guess he'll be on the Spurs in this alternate scenario. But the Lakers, they're going to have to do a lot of rebuilding without their young picks. And then the Spurs, this would give them the opportunity to play guys like Blake Wesley, Malachi Branham, and Josh Primo even more. They already play Branham. They already play Primo, but they could play him even more. And then that also opens up the door to get one of these guys in this year's draft. And then, if you want to look ahead to the 2027-2029 draft, like I said, it'll probably be a top 5 pick. So you can start scouting out some third graders right now if you want to, if you're a Spurs fan and you want to make that deal. Now let's take a look at the outlook for this Spurs squad. Again, 3-1. They've beat Indiana and then Philadelphia and Minnesota, 2 teams that were projected to make the playoffs this year. The only loss being to Charlotte, and Josh Richardson put up 27 against Indiana. Did not know that. Honestly, I expect them to win their next 3 games. The Bulls are struggling a little bit, and then Minnesota, Popovic, he's one of the greatest coaches we've ever seen. If you think you can run out 2 7-footers and have one of them guard on the perimeter against Popovic, you're crazy. He's going to eat that alive. Then you get into some harder games with Toronto, LA, a couple of Denver games, Memphis, Milwaukee, Golden State, Portland. God, that stretch of the schedule is brutal. So I expect them to come down to earth a little bit during that stretch. But taking a look at the picks they have here, they have Charlotte's first-round pick in 2023 as well as their own, although I believe that Charlotte pick is protected. At least I hope it is. 2024, they have their own pick. 2025, they have their own Atlanta's and Chicago's. And that Chicago pick could be pretty valuable. 2026, they have their own and Atlanta's. And then 2027, they once again have their own and Atlanta's via the DeJounte Murray trade. That was the 3 big pieces. And again, by 2027, especially if you add in this Lakers pick in 2027 and then in 2029, goodness. That's kind of scary. You're looking at some very, very high value picks. Now let's take a look at the salary cap for this Spurs squad. I love what they did with Keldon Johnson's contract. Pay him $20 million up front when you're tanking, when you're going to be bad, and then when you're looking to make a move to bring in some more high-level talent, you're only having to pay him $17.5. $2.5 million can make a little bit of a difference. Doug McDermott, once he gets off the books, that's going to be $13 million. Same with Josh Richardson, going to be about $12 million, and then Poeltl. So their 3 top paid guys could definitely all be traded to make a move for either future picks and bring in Westbrook, or you could go out and try and sign a free agent. But I am excited to see what Coach Pop can do with this young core. Also excited to watch Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell continue to grow and develop because they're going to get a lot of time to do that over the next couple of years. Trey Jones, I really want to watch him. Loved watching him in college at Duke, but I think he's going to, continue to develop. He might be a little undersized, but he's a great defender and can score the ball. Very good passer as well. That Tyus Jones assist to turnover ratio runs in the family. Poeltl and Primo, looking forward to seeing what they can do. And then the 3 rookies, Jeremy Sohan, Malachi Branham, and Blake Wesley. Haven't really gotten to see Wesley or Branham yet, and then Sohan in that limited role. So with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to let me know your thoughts on the Spurs. Remember, this video was recorded. It's actually 5 minutes before tip-off of their game against the Timberwolves right now. So yeah, make sure you hit the like button, leave me a comment. With all that being said, thanks so much for watching today's video.